So in a previous video, I broke down the already deadly Atlanta Baton Rouge gang war that's been going on, particularly the fact that now YoungBoy is at war with Future and his underling Doughboy from the Free Band Gang, all right? Or the Taliban, as they call them, not the Middle Eastern Taliban, but they repping this Taliban gang. They got this Free Band Taliban thing going on. And YoungBoy's 4K Trey. Well, I told you guys in a previous video that Future's cousin is Barber Osama, one of the most fearsome hitmen from Atlanta. And he was actually loyal to YoungBoy back in the day when there was a big old shooting at the Trump Hotel in Florida and they tried to kill YoungBoy. Barber was the one that was shooting back and people lost their lives in that incident. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down a little bit more backstory about YoungBoy's top hitman, Barber Osama, who just so happens to be Future's cousin, and some of the people that were being terrorized on behalf of YoungBoy because of the connections that he had in Atlanta, particularly Young Thug. Rumor has it is that when Young Thug and YoungBoy weren't seeing eye to eye, the 38 times Taliban gang, so basically the link up between YoungBoy's 38th Street and the Taliban that come from Atlanta, Barber's crew, was locked in. So when YoungBoy was beefing with Young Thug, the Atlanta Taliban members warned Young Thug people to stop playing with YoungBoy. They said it's green versus green. Let's see which green comes out on top. You better stop playing with YoungBoy slime. Them Talibans are out here in Atlanta. So Young Thug was absolutely quaking in his boots in fear of YoungBoy's elite hitmen messing with him. And the person that conveyed this message was 38 Tali, who is Barber's brother. He said they ready to go to war. And this is the same person who made it very clear that in this current war between YoungBoy, Future, and Doughboy, 38 Tali was the one letting it be known that the Taliban gang was sliding with YoungBoy.
Versus them, versus them, versus them. Green versus green versus green versus green. Let's see what green the biggest. It's a tall little girl in Atlanta. They call her. No, we'll drop your name, boy. You better stop playing with YoungBoy slime, boy. Them Taliban's is up here in Atlanta, boy. So you better sit your pussy ass down. You better tell your pussy ass nigga who behind you that it ain't safe no nigga come outside. It's over with for the weekend, nigga. Stay in the house. There's a no-fly zone for some slimes. Yeah, cause we the real slime. So we finna show y'all, nigga. We see purple, not green. So stay in the house. You see what little bro just said on that internet. We ain't internet niggas though, but we gotta play internet game because the internet is taking control of this shit. But this shit is a real situation where it can get people, kids, and families hurt. So understand, stay out of them comments and don't say the wrong shit because we looking at them comments and what y'all saying.
So look, YoungBoy had Young Thug on the verge of getting blown to smithereens by the 38 Taliban members. Now, okay, here's the thing. Barber Osama's brother, he would follow this up. And this was only a few months ago. This was on May 15th. All right. Member of NBA YoungBoy's 4K Trade crew said they're ready to go to war with Young Thug and his people. He added Young Thug. He said, we can get this shit popping. You know how we come in. That's a grave. That's a coffin emoji. He said, so you know what it is. Pop out with your bitch ass. Grave diggers over here. We're going to get you repped on. So they were ready to kill Young Thug on behalf of YoungBoy. Absolute insanity. This is what was really going on. So everyone should be scared. And Barber's brother would also stamp Herm's message when Herm basically made it clear that he wasn't rocking with YoungBoy. That he wasn't rocking with Young Thug around this time. All right. And so he would basically stamp that message, posting it. Thugger, top say your bitch ass ain't slime no more. How you want to do it? All right. That was Herm's message. And Tali was basically putting it out there. Okay. People saying, ain't he locked up in Georgia? He robbing in the wrong stuff. They're saying the GA prison's got multiple blood sets. I'm telling you, a lot of them Novas don't F with Thug. So it was that serious. People saying there's some Turkey stuff. Why at them, not Detroit dudes? Said they are. Y'all want dudes to internet slide. Then when somebody dies, you're going to blame them. But basically, they're saying it's Tali 4K Trey versus YSL OTF who winning. That's really how it got. He was saying can't go off what another person say. He better see for himself because Thug don't seem like a bitch. They're saying when dude went to jail for where y'all glorify YB for having other dudes do his work, but the work is getting done. They said Thug ain't shoot Ben or make a Ben challenge. Why they want to go to war with Thug? They got real problems to worry about. They said it seemed like it only a Ben 10 problem while the Thug situation is a bigger problem. It's a straight gang war. Okay, so probably one of the most feared 38 Taliban members, all right, is of course Barber Osama, all right, Tali's brother, who is alleged to have 7+ bodies. Now, there's a lot of old clips of him and YoungBoy rolling around. They're saying he the Nigerian shooter, Barber 4K Trey, he a real demon in the streets. He'll wake him up out of his sleep and he'll be ready to shoot immediately. Look at it. He said, Baba, up. He was ready to kill in his sleep. Bro, that guy is a menace. They're saying he was a real menace, but he ain't Big 3-3. All right, we know Big 3-3, the real gravedigger, the Grim Threeper. All right, but they saying he really was ready to kill. All right, on behalf of 4K Trey, Big Slime Allegiance. That's what was going on. It said Baba Osama from NBA 4K Trey is a contract killer hitman. He's allegedly responsible for 10+ murders. OTF are lucky this guy's locked up, or it would have been over with. Absolutely over with. People saying you found out, you're trolling, but it's true. That's what was going on. They're talking about you on your knees, but this is really what was going on. People keep saying he locked up for multiple murders. There's no proof, but I'm going to show you some proof and some backstory in this video. Okay, I'm going to make it very, very clear. I'm going to let you guys know what's going down. It is very, very interesting. Okay, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. So look at this. This is more information. They're saying Future, Taliban gang, is Barber's cousin. He was one of Taliban's best hitters. He met YoungBoy through Future. He's a Muslim. They met in 2018, 2019. He has much love for Barber. I don't know why he's locked up or when he gets out, but it's serious. Barber, real demon, real stepper, real gravedigger for the 4K Trey Alliance. Okay, this is not somebody to be trifled with. That goes for Young Thug. That goes even for his own cousin Future, because he locked the F in with YoungBoy, all right? They're saying he got a murder charge. He's facing life in prison, but he's taking it to trial. People saying not getting out, he's getting double digits. He's locked for like 8 murders, but the prosecutors don't want him to take it to trial because they're trying to do him like they did D. Rose from Chicago. They gave him 38 years, all right, on a body that he had nothing to do with, just so they could get him off the streets. They're saying he locked up for 5 murders, I heard. They say he violated probation at the YoungBoy shooting in Miami. Saying you're right. I just remembered he's the one who shot back in Florida. That's why YoungBoy says I couldn't grab my gun. Barber shot back in the Watch Me Burn song. That probably violated his probation. He was stepping before that. They said he was a headhunter. He helped start the 4K Trey movement in Atlanta. It's not big, but they definitely slanging that iron. Okay, it is crazy. They're saying in one of Barber's song, he said he killed a Marine in Nigeria. I don't know the song name, but I'm going to give you some info on that in a minute. They're saying dude looked like someone at a menace to society. He stand over the business. Rumors are he caught bodies with someone else. Bra was on some serial killer shit. He getting football numbers. All right. They're saying he Future cousin for real. They're saying he not Muslim. No Muslim would live the life he lives, but saying you can't say that. He really from Nigeria. He been Muslim, moved here. Just because dudes love a certain way doesn't mean he can't be Muslim. Dirk also a Muslim. Saying no real Muslim kills people and does drugs. Him being from Nigeria doesn't change that. And Dirk and King Von definitely weren't Muslims. You're talking nonsense. All right. So that's a whole debate I ain't even going to get into. But you can make your own decisions on that one. Okay. So according to the records, okay, Barber actually changed his name some time ago from Randy Eugene Manuel to Osama Eugene Manuel in 2019. So he really Barber Osama, his name really Osama, right? He actually changed his name, Osama Eugene Manuel. And this is kind of some details about the serious cases that he was facing. And basically, this is kind of, you know, one of the incidents that apparently he got involved in that was pretty nasty, okay? And maybe you're not going to respect some of the stuff that's been going on here, but I'm just going to give you kind of the backstory of what allegedly had been going on over there with all of these incidents, okay, in Atlanta and in Georgia. This was an incident allegedly where a 5-year-old girl was shot through a window in DeKalb County. This 5-year-old girl will be recovering after a bullet hit her in the shoulder as she stood in an apartment complex watching a gunfight outside. So they're saying a 5-year-old girl will be recovering after this incident on Sunday night in the Highland Apartments on Flat Shoals Road. Police say the little girl was standing at the window watching 2 people shooting at each other in the parking lot, and one of the bullets pierced her window and hit her. Then the suspects took off. Officers spent several hours collecting evidence, including multiple shell casings in the parking lot and talking to neighbors. So that was allegedly one incident that he might have had something to do with. And in 2014, he actually got indicted for his alleged role in this incident. So this would kind of be circulating. I would say a DeKalb man would be indicted on a drive-by shooting that struck a toddler. A pair of DeKalb County men are accused of illegal gang activity in connection with a drive-by shooting that seriously injured a 5-year-old girl. DeAndre Dion Shepard and Randy Eugene Manuel, both 19, were indicted on Tuesday by a DeKalb County grand jury on aggravated assault, aggravated battery, and multiple counts of gun possession, criminal damage to property, and street gang terrorism and the Prevention Act violation charges. He Osama for real. He a street gang terrorist. What on earth? Prosecutors said Shepard and Manuel are members of the Bixby Court family street gang. Police believe the two were involved in a disagreement outside the apartment where young Nevaeh Craig was on the night of December the 15th. The altercation escalated and two men who prosecutors say were seated in a car opened fire, according to a 25-page indictment. The girl was hit by a stray bullet and at least 4 other people were in the line of fire. Prosecutors said she was hospitalized but survived, and prosecutors said Shepard and Manuel deliberately shot up 5 cars in the parking lot. Both men were arrested and several days later and remain in the DeKalb County jail without bond, according to jail records. So I'll keep it real. I can't condone this. All right, I can't condone this. I don't know who was the initiator of that shootout. It's not entirely clear exactly what was what. Clearly, there was a shootout that happened and a little girl was hurt, and that is the human cost of this kind of nonsense. So I can't condone it. And unfortunately for Barbara Osama, it seems like he is very good at popping it off and getting the shootings going, but it does seem like a lot of people, unfortunately innocent, do end up getting hurt, because the next incident that's at least publicly known is this incident. And again, it's not his fault. He didn't initiate this. But, you know, allegedly he was involved in this shooting where they pulled up and, you know, allegedly lit Yoshi and a bunch of guys from the TBG crew came to Florida when YoungBoy was playing his show at Rolling Loud. They came to his hotel at the Trump Resort on Sunny Isles Beach, and they tried to shoot up the place at the front lobby in the valet area, and Barber ended up shooting back along. Some people say YoungBoy shot back, other people say that they didn't. But basically that shooting ended up seeing a stray bullet actually killing a man who was working in a car rental place across the all the way across the street. Complete accident, and I believe a child might have even got grazed too, but this was the news reporting on that.
Now it's fire.
Well, police say a fight between rap stars may have led to this street shootout.
An innocent man sitting in his van killed by a stray bullet. 7 Jessica Holly is live on the scene. She's on Sunny Isles Beach. Jessica.
Shots fired in the middle of the day on a Sunday afternoon. Right now, police are trying to figure out who pulled the trigger. Who was that person trying to hit? We know, according to police, it wasn't the man who was killed, the man who was wrapping up his workday, just minding his own business.
43-year-old Mohammed Dradi shot dead in Sunny Isles Beach. An employee of Hertz Rental Car hit by a stray bullet as he sat in his van in a parking lot along Collins Avenue Sunday afternoon.
I heard the gunshots. Everybody went to the floor. I see people running. They were just running nowhere.
The bullets flew just outside the Trump International Beach Resort, also piercing this black Suburban witnesses say was carrying rapper NBA YoungBoy.
My man, NBA YoungBoy in the building.
He didn't hit him, he hit the girl he was with.
Police say 19-year-old Kaylin Marie Long was shot inside that Suburban, but is expected to be okay. A 5-year-old boy across the street was also grazed by a bullet. Sunday, Miami-Dade police took several people in for questioning, including 4 attempting to enter the Rolling Loud Music Festival at Hard Rock Stadium. Police say they also collected a number of weapons, but so far, no arrest in a shooting that took the life of an innocent man just wrapping up a day at work. Friends of Mohammed Dradi remembering him on social media, calling him a beautiful soul with a beautiful smile. His employer releasing a statement that reads in part, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of our Hertz employee, Mohammed Dradi, in yesterday's tragic event. He was a highly valued member of our Sunny Isles Hertz family for over 12 years, and he will be greatly missed."
We're urging that anybody that perhaps saw something, no matter how minor it may be, you may not think it's too important. Now that you know that somebody lost their life, perhaps now you know what happened and you can provide us that information.
Police are...
It's a messed up situation, and it's likely that the people that were hurt that were innocent were probably shot by Barber or people on YoungBoy's side, because the attackers, and it's their fault, they initiated this, but they would have been shooting at towards the hotel entrance, and the return fire would have been coming in the other direction. Now, YoungBoy touched on this on one of his songs, No Understand, and in this, he basically talked about the incident and how bad he felt. He said, "I'm a bloody man. I don't feel shame for all them dudes dying, holding on to my name with nothing to claim. When through the night I'm crying, these bitches lying. Let's face the fact, them bullets flying. Let's talk about that. I couldn't grab my strap, so Barber shot back. I feel the pain of the innocent. When I did my time, I ain't feel nothing. It was for that man who was heaven sent, for that child who was grazed. She wasn't supposed to deal with this shit. I'm with the shit. Point that Draco to your head, but it don't mean nothing when them white folks talking about bread." So he touched on this situation and basically, you know, talked about what was going on. There would also be another piece of commentary about the song on NBA Big B's track Smoke, where he would touch on the shooting And he basically, at least some people thought this could have been the same situation, could have been a different one, but they basically said swerving on their block, trying to find an op so I can do them. Barber caught an N-word, let off 30, only one went through him. Swing that Draco, call that bitch bubblegum, it gets chewing, smoke in the air, there's a fat dude there. And that's a reference to another person who was killed in the gang war. Now, according to Barber's record, he was arrested for a shooting in August of 2019, which would have been after that whole incident, basically, where the Trump Hotel got shot up. And this would circulate quite some years later. And there's still kind of not a lot of details on exactly what went down, but I'll give you probably the closest analysis that anybody's done up until this point. These are the charges, and the thing is, it's like street gang terrorism, murder, felony murder, 4 counts of felony murder, assault, armed robbery, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in the commission of a felony, violation of street gang terrorism, participation in criminal street gang activity, felony murder ×3, armed robbery, 2 aggravated assaults, possession of a firearm and knife during a felony, a whole bunch of stuff, even false imprisonment. They got false imprisonment on there, okay? This is crazy. So it seems like all of these charges are related to the same day, which is August, the offense date, which would have been August 13th, 2019, okay? So it's clear that this was a particular incident, and it potentially matches this incident here. I'm not 100,000% sure that this is the incident, but, okay, there was a shooting on the very same date in Atlanta, and this was basically the news reporting on a man being shot to death in an Atlanta apartment building, and the gunman was on the run. This is the very day of the offense date, August the 13th, 2019, that Baba Osama, was unfortunately allegedly charged with an incident the same day. Let's see if I can get this ad up.
We begin with breaking news at 6 o'clock. Police investigating a deadly shooting on Northside Circle. Good evening to you. I'm Sine Simpson.
And I'm Russ Spencer. Fox 5's Portia Bruner joins us now live at the scene with the late breaking details. Portia?
So here's what we've learned in the last hour since we arrived on the scene and first reported at 5. I'll step out the way here so you can see this is still very much an active homicide investigation. In fact, the medical examiner hasn't even arrived yet, so we're trying to take some precautions to make sure we don't accidentally show you where this man fell and died after he stumbled out of his apartment complex. You take a look at some of the chopper video from earlier this afternoon. Witnesses here in the area telling us that around 1:45, they heard a woman screaming near this apartment complex here off of Northside Drive. Others came out to help, and that's when they saw the man in the staircase, and he clearly had obvious signs of foul play. They described it looked like at least 2 gunshot wounds. Atlanta police right now not quantifying that as they still just try to figure out what happened inside of the apartment, where they say there is evidence of where he was shot. Take a listen to what Atlanta police said about what happened when they arrived and found the body near this the front door of this apartment complex.
We believe that he's deceased from gunshot wounds. We don't have any suspect information at this time. The victim is a black male, approximately in his 20s. We don't have a motive. We're canvassing the apartment complex now for any witnesses, any video cameras, anybody who saw anything or heard anything. We really would love to speak with them.
I have had a chance to talk to some of the folks who live near where this happened. This is a very large apartment complex. Most of the folks saying they don't want to be on camera because they're not sure who did this, why they did it. At this point, police say they're not even sure who this man is because they haven't really had a chance to see what was inside the apartment that may be his. Interesting to note, though, the apartment, according to police, was scarcely furnished. She said it didn't appear that there was a lot of activity in there, so they're still trying to figure out what his connection is to the apartment complex here.
So we don't know for sure whether that was Barber, but that was one of several shootings that took place around the time of his charges. But there was also another shooting in DeKalb County on the same, I believe on the same date or around the same date, soon after. And again, it seemed like he was on the run for a bit, almost could have been a crime spree. But again, this is just another incident that took place soon after that still, as far as I'm aware, we don't know for sure if this is the incident, but it just goes to show you Atlanta was absolutely on fire around
just to listen to my radio, and I heard multiple gunshot. It seemed like it came from a different area.
It
was before 11 Monday night. Fred Cox was sitting on a MARTA bench on DeKalb County's Columbia Drive when the shots were fired. At first, he thought they were firecrackers, but when the rounds continued to be unloaded, Cox realized those were bullets flying.
They've shot one time, about 10 times, and then a second time after about 20 minutes, about 20 seconds that is, and they shot again.
Police say the male victim ran to the Waffle House apparently looking for help. Cox, who ducked to avoid the gunfire, tells us it was like the guy appeared out of nowhere.
I see this guy in the Waffle House that was injured, and I didn't see him when he made it to the Waffle House because I had my back turned.
Paramedics rushed the victim to the hospital where doctors tried to save his life. Police combed the area looking for clues but aren't even sure where the shooting took place. Cox says he wasn't surprised to hear gunfire in the area.
You just gotta pray every day you're going home and every day you're leaving home in this area right now because it's gotten real bad.
So yeah, that's interesting incident, and you know there's kind of some more information that came out afterwards. Family demanding answers for the man found shot at the Waffle House. This was kind of a follow-up with more details, and the police and the news would kind of give out a little bit more backstory as to what happened.
Like that was just a long life best friend. I was just hurt. I just really couldn't believe it. Like right now to this day, I still don't believe that he's gone.
Candles in hand and eyes swollen with tears, friends and family of Jerome Hall shared memories of the 31-year-old Saturday night.
One of the funniest dudes you'll ever meet.
A vigil for the father of two held in front of the Waffle House on Columbia Drive, where Hall took his last steps. Police believe Hall was shot and then ran to the Waffle House seeking help. He died at the hospital the next morning.
A whole bunch of unanswered questions.
Family and friends demanding answers in the case riddled with unknowns, including where Hall was shot, who shot him, and if he was even the intended target.
Me and Bubba, we grew up all our life together, lived in the same house. Now he gone. Still having a hard time believing that he's really gone. And we just want answers. Why?
Neighbors have their own theories, including co-pastors Stephen and Latasha Howard of True Vision's church, a 3-minute walk from the Waffle House.
You can see how it shattered the whole glass.
The Howards discovered 2 bullet holes in the front of their church shortly after they learned of Hall's murder on the news.
Literally heard it on the news that somebody had gotten shot over here and actually went up to the Waffle House. And the first thing I was like, I bet you it happened down by our church.
Yeah.
And police have not revealed where the shooting took place, but they tell me tonight they are looking into whether the bullet holes in True Vision Church right down the street from here are connected to Hall's death. In the meantime, the family is pleading for anyone with information on the incident to contact DeKalb County Police.
So these are all kind of like circulating now. Interestingly enough, okay, there's kind of commentary going around on Reddit where Redditors have actually tried to tie Barber to the murder of a 14-year-old girl. So there's this going around. People saying, I keep seeing Barber locked up for multiple murders, but there's zero proof of it. It says his name's Eugene or some shit. I don't know about 10, but he locked up for a double murder right now. It says search Randy Eugene Manuel and his charges come up. It says I know, but he changed his name to Osama. The latest article I could find of him is talking about him killing a 14-year-old girl and a man. Kind of weird they don't give an age, right? So it's quite bizarre. So I tried to get to the bottom of that and try and find out what was going on. And when you search for the main thing, okay, there is actually a case where a 14-year-old girl was killed and the other victim, apparently an adult named Manuel de Jesus Franco. And bear in mind, it's like they're saying that this says his name was Eugene. It says search Randy Eugene Manuel. His charges come up. But there's basically a Manuel who was a victim where a 14-year-old girl was also killed. And it says murder suspect in DeKalb stabbings in custody. So this was basically circulating. It kind of has a little bit of backstory about the situation. Murder suspect in DeKalb stabbings in custody. Says the suspect accused of fatally stabbing a 14-year-old girl and a man Sunday morning in a Decatur apartment has been arrested, DeKalb County authorities said Monday afternoon. Authorities say Royce Stewart stabbed his niece Shaikia Ward Reese and his sister's boyfriend Manuel de Jesus Franco at the Trinity Walk apartments and stole a silver Mustang convertible. Now, obviously, that's not the correct name, right? So that's not looking like Barber. But again, they're talking about 14-year-old girl killed along with a man. I couldn't find any other examples of anything like this, okay? It's a little bit strange. It says in 2003, the same person, Stewart, was charged with murder in connection with the death of an 18-year-old man at a birthday party, but they didn't really have many details about it, okay? So it's a little bit strange, not really adding up. And it's kind of like everyone's trying to get to the bottom of this situation of why this 14-year-old got killed, right? So it's just not making sense. But when you look at this, it says he changed his name to Osama. The latest article I find is him killing a 14-year-old girl and a man. Kind of weird they didn't give an age. But it doesn't sound like that's the correct name for him, right? So it's just not making any sense whatsoever. It's really odd. But obviously, if we go back to his charges, there was kind of, there's obviously a lot of charges, multiple murders in here. But again, possession of a firearm or knife during a commission of a felony, and that last incident was with a knife, and it matches up with that Reddit comment, but it doesn't seem to match up with the name, so it's not really making too much sense. Like Manuel, Osama, Eugene, Manuel, it's like it's not the same, right? Like it's a different person. Royce Stewart, it's all very, very confusing, okay? Now, there's been a lot of sort of fake cases that have been put on him over the years, too. There was another rumor that he'd actually killed a soldier or somebody in the army, but apparently this has been debunked. So this is sort of under a comment about him. It says, in one of Barber's songs, it said he killed a Marine in Nigeria. I don't know the name of the song before you ask. It says Mood Swings. It's saying that he knew someone that did it. People say Real 100, but it's a bit weird, right? Apparently that was debunked. Apparently that's not true. That's not what went down. It all is a little bit strange, okay? And the latest that we heard from Barbara Osama in 2024, a former Fulton County detention officer was actually accused of taking bribes from inmates, and Barbara Osama
Now,
Manuel
a Channel 2 Action
will be
News
implicated.
exclusive. A former Fulton County detention officer is now in jail. She's accused of taking $17,000 in bribes to smuggle in contraband. Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live at the jail where he learned one of the inmates involved is a defendant in the YSL trial. Michael.
Linda, we've learned that when investigators searched this former detention officer's iPhone, they found financial transactions, some of which were between that defendant, Marquavius Huey's family and this former jailer. Tonight, though, we have learned through this investigation that they believe 4 other inmates were also accused in this criminal scream.
I was like, wow, I was shocked.
That's the reaction that Fulton County Deputy Tessa Cole says she had as she watched this jail security video in July during a criminal investigation into a former detention officer accused of taking $17,000 in bribes in exchange for helping inmates smuggle in drugs and cell phones sold inside this jail.
There were specific transactions on certain days that aligned with nefarious and criminal activity going on her floor by her.
Cole was talking about her now former colleague, Carmen Bailey, who had been under investigation since 2 inmates came forward and reported her alleged criminal behavior back in May. In the surveillance video recorded back in July, investigators say Bailey is seen escorting 2 inmates into a restricted area of the jail, one of whom has been blurred because of his cooperation. The other inmate has been identified as Marquavius Huey, who's one of the 6 defendants currently standing trial in the YSL RICO gang case. Court records accused Huey's mother and brother of paying Bailey a combined $1,500 to help him sell contraband to other inmates. Bailey's also accused of doing business with at least 4 other inmates, including Osama Manuel and Marcus Foley.
So Osama Manuel is Barber. Apparently doing a little business with the contraband investigation, or the contraband jailer that was being investigated. Sorry.
Waiting to stand trial on gang and murder charges.
We've started to really implement a lot of data to track, obviously patterns. And in this tracking, the amount of contraband found on the floor that she was operating and, had a duty post orders, it was an uptick.
Yeah, in the last hour, attorneys for Mr. Huey sent me this statement regarding the allegations. It reads, unfortunately, it has all become too common that we hear about allegations of corruption, bribery, and violations of oath of office by the men and women responsible for housing and securing those individuals who are in custody within the Fulton County Jail. Our client, who has been in continuous custody since December 2021.
So basically, okay, he in the jail doing business with the corrupt jailers. It's insane. But we still don't fully know what his situation is, what his murder charges were. None of it really has truly surfaced. And I wonder if that stuff actually was dropped or it was never taken to trial, because it was rumored a year ago that Barber was set to be released on July 2027. He only got a year left. So it seems like maybe the only thing they actually got him on, or maybe the only thing he pleaded out to, was an armed robbery charge. And they're projecting him to be released this time next year. Insanity, okay? I wonder whether this rumor of 9-10 bodies, the Hitman stuff, was that not true? Was that... Or was that all under wraps and none of it's ever been proven? No one's ever been able to find a concrete body that this guy's been involved in, other than people accidentally getting shot in the crossfire. So I do wonder what's going on. That's no disrespect. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, they're leaving a lot of stuff in the streets, but it's very, very interesting, and I would like to find out what is going on with Barber. But okay, if he really is coming home July 2027 and he really has gotten away with numerous murders as a hitman for the 4K Trey Alliance, I would say that Future and Doughboy and them need to be very, very concerned. Need to be very, very worried, okay? This is one of the top demons for YoungBoy's crew. And he got all them Atlanta ties, and his brothers online talking about everybody better stay out the way. So I think this is very crazy. It's very concerning, okay? And bear in mind, he locked up with some of them wire sellers, okay, when that was all going on. And clearly... he good in them jails, all right? Ain't no YSL doing nothing to him, all right? His brother's saying we ready to step on Young Thug if it comes to it. So these guys are probably some of the most feared people in Atlanta. So I do think that Future and Doughboy are barking up the wrong tree with this one. But anyway, I will keep you guys posted. If I find out what any of these murder cases were, if I find out that it's cap, I'll let you guys know. I'm not believing it's cap, but I am wondering what actually happened to those charges, because it's like, where and when did that all go down? I don't know. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. I did an hour-long Andrew Tate breakdown, which got... I couldn't upload because of YouTube nonsense. Shame that they're not letting me put that out. I'm going to try and re-edit it, try and get it up if I can, but it's up for members only. So if you want to become a member, you want to check that out, it's there now, uncut, and it will hopefully come in the next day or two with some edits to YouTube. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I've also got some merch. So I've got some This Is Bad merch in the store. See Adam22 wearing that today, gang on the show with Whack. On No Jumper, that was cool. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there, folks. Okay, playing with my little fidget toy. I'm anxious right now. I don't know why. I got so much work on today. It's been a really disorganized day, and everything keeps going wrong. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up now. No more videos from me today. I will catch you guys in some more videos tomorrow, and there will be a lot of Big David updates coming this week, so stay tuned for that. I'm out now. Peace.